Hey everyone, in this video we are going to use Excel to help us create boxplots. So boxplots are a graphical representation of basically like the 5-number summary and outliers. And Excel has some great tools to help us out, especially like our add-in package. We do have to do some data wrangling here, and I'm going to show you some basic techniques in order to get the data into the format in which Excel is looking for it. Different programs like data in different formats, and so sometimes we have to manipulate our data to get it into a format that the software actually likes. All right, so we have a survey that was sent out, and these are respondents' sex and their highest year of education. So we're just going to go ahead and copy our data and come and paste it into Excel. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is figure out how to create our plots. Okay, so there are a couple of options, but the one that we are going to be using is by using our real stats package. Oops, wrong one. Here we go. Oh, give me just a second. Okay, so we're going to be using our real stats package, and here we're going to actually just use our descriptive statistics and normality tab. So when we go there, here is what we are left with. So we have, let me see something real quick. There we go. Okay, so we selected out our input range, and we are going to select this box plot with outliers. This time we actually want this outliers, and we're going to say we're going to include the column headings with our data because we included the column headings. Okay, the problem with what we're going to do right now, let's give it a shot and you'll see what happens. So let's go ahead and select like G something for where the data is going to go. And I'm going to click OK. And we have this runtime error, the analysis tool will be aborted, and we have this type mismatch. Okay. So what happens is that it really didn't like dealing with sex on its own, because it thought that it was supposed to be analyzing it as numerical data. So in some programs, very common in statistical programs, what they want is to have all of the responses in one column and then the group in another column. Sometimes we gotta change it up depending upon the software that we're in, and this is where we need to do a little bit of data wrangling. Okay, so the first thing that we need to know is like all of our responses here in column B. Now it's basically just men and women for this one, but let's actually see what it is so that we can get some information. So one thing that we're going to do is let's start off with just a pivot table. So let's go to our insert pivot table, and we are going to select our column here, and we want to put it in this sheet, and let's go ahead and click OK. And we want there to be sex and sex here. And we did this pivot table so we can just figure out, okay, who are we looking at? And it will give us all of our outcomes, because maybe it was like men, women, and other, or maybe we have other like non-traditional gender identities that we were looking at as well. In this one, we were just looking at men and women. So what we can do is we can label this column men, and we can label this column women. And so what the real stats package is looking for is for all the men's answers to be in a column and all the women's answers to be in a column. So that's how we're going to start this one off. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to highlight all of our data again. We're going to highlight two columns, column A and column B, and then do our Control-Shift down, and that'll select out all of our data. And then what we are going to do is we are going to go under our Home tab. There should be one that's called like, I'm looking for the sort. So sometimes it looks like this. If we go full screen, it'll look like this guy. Let's say sort and filter. So it kind of just depends upon how big you have your screen set up. So let's go ahead and sort and filter this. And I'm going to go down to custom sort. In our custom sort, we can choose which column we're going to sort by. Are we going to sort by the highest year of school or the sex? And I'm going to click on sex, and I want to order it from A to Z, and I'm going to click OK. All right, now what we can do is, well, we actually have a bunch of options that we can do. I'm going to show you one simple option now, and we will add in more complicated versions of data wrangling later. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on the very first one of men, and then I'm just going to scroll down, scroll down, scroll down until I find the next men, or the very last men response. And I'm going to push shift and then click. And it's going to highlight the entire range for where those men are. And so I'm going to copy that range, and then I am just going to paste the values in this column. All right, then I'm going to follow that up with the women. So I'm going to scroll down. And here I could do the same thing. I could click on it and then scroll down and click shift. Or since I know that this is just women left over, I'm going to do control shift down. That grabs the women. I'm going to copy that. You can either do a right click and copy, or I use control C a lot. And I want to paste this in the women's column. All right, so now instead of having a column of answers and then the responses of the highest year of school and then the responses of gender, now I've organized it into there's a column of men's answers and a column of women's answers. Okay, so now let's go ahead and highlight that and do control shift down. And notice that we actually have a problem. Because the men's answers stopped, there's a few more women in here. We're going to scroll all the way down, and if we push shift and then click again, it will include the rest of those. So just be aware that control shift down, sometimes you got to check the bottom, because if one column ends before the other, this just means that there are more women in this study. You have to like manually add in those last couple few. Okay, so I clicked on those, and I'm going to push control M again, and this pulls up my real statistics again, and let's go ahead and click on the descriptive statistics and normality. So we're going to try again. We're going to click OK. We have our data selected. We have a box plot with outliers. We don't need this Shapiro-Wilks. And let's tell it where we want it. Let's put it in column J and click OK. And check this out. Now we have this plot where we have box plots with an outliers. We have our men and women. We have the descriptive statistics of all of them. We have the 5-number summaries. We've got all sorts of good pieces here. Okay, so now that we have this, what we can do is we can come back and we can see which one of these most closely resembles our other box plots. Now there are some ways how we can, like, sometimes we see different definitions of like outliers. So I believe that if we change these outliers defined right here as 2.2, if we change it to 1.5, we can kind of redefine where the endpoints are for our box plots. But let's go ahead and take a look at these. So sometimes there are different criteria for how different plots use their stuff. But let's kind of look at these 5-number summaries, and we can see that, hey, the minimum for each of these is at 8. So if we look at the men and the women, they're at 8, and we're like, okay, so that looks really good. We notice here that the men has a much smaller overall range than the women. So we want the one where the men are here and the women are right here. Okay, so then we have this maximum value of 14 for the men, maximum value of 14. And then this one, so we see that sometimes our plots are like our definitions of how we do box plots or how we do how we define outliers can be slightly different. So this is the correct answer, this one with the women. And if we take a look at the answer, it's the one with the outliers. Now let's go ahead and try to see if we can't run this again real quick and get another one where we have the multiplier change from 2.2 to 1.5. So if we go ahead and let's select our data again. So we'll do this, control shift down, grab those last couple extras, control M, pull up our real stats. Let's do our descriptives again. Okay, we'll do no Shapiro-Wilks, and the outlier multiplier we're going to do, or let's see if we do 1.5. Looks like we can also change the outlier limit. Let's do outlier limit in standard deviations, and the maximum number of outliers So it looks like that we can also define the maximum number of outliers. And let's go ahead and click OK. I think it's going to do the same thing as what happened before. Let's go ahead and try it. Oh, let's give it a range. And we'll click OK. This one did work. So I changed the multipliers to 1.5. So the standard one is a multiplier of 1.5. But this one, its default was set at 2.2. So that's just something to be aware of, that we can change what our definition of an outlier is. But kind of the standard one that we'll use in class is 1.5. So remember that you can change that. And if you do, it produces this exact same graph. Okay, so this is our next question. 75% of men have at least how many years of school? And what we can do is, if we look at our men right here, 75% have at least, oh, hold on, let's go down and look at this one that actually matches up. Okay, so our Q1 is going to be 9. So 75% have at least 9 years of schooling. They might have more, but 75 have at least 9 years of school. Okay, do men or women have a larger IQR? Interesting question. We can go look at our descriptive statistics. And if we go look at so we have our range, we have, I guess it doesn't give us our IQR. Oh, there it is, IQR. So it says men and women, looks like both have an IQR of 3. And so in this one, they are equal. Okay, and then do men or women have a larger total range? And so we can grab that from here. Men looks like they're pretty close with a range of 6, and women is with a 12. And so we have the women. So that's how we can use Excel in order we have to do a little bit of data wrangling, of changing the format of how the data is presented to get it into the format that the real stats package is looking for. But once we get it, and once we change our multiplier from the default of 2.2 to our class kind of standard of 1.5, we produce our plots just like we would expect them to be. So hopefully that helps you out, and good luck on creating box plots in your own assignments.